The crypto market is bubbling up with excitement, and today we got news that I believe is much more significant than everybody is recognizing it to be. I believe that this is a sign that crypto is not only primed for a very long and healthy bullish trajectory, but that the one potential Achilles heel in the bull run is looking like it's not all that dangerous. In my opinion, this particular piece of news makes me even more bullish about this bull run that we've been on. I'm also going to go in today into some altcoin news and why I'm excited about these particular tokens and what I think is going to be an overriding trend for not only the next few days, but the next few years of cryptocurrency. That's right. Once again, I'm trying to offload to you my understanding of the space and allow you the tools to go fish for yourself and predict the most powerful and influential trends in the crypto market. And in my opinion, by predicting the most powerful trends in crypto, you are predicting some of the most powerful financial trends in the world. If you guys are excited for this one, go ahead, destroy that like button. And remember, as always, each and every comment on this video is entered to win your very own hardware wallet. As always, beware of scammers in the comments pretending to be me. With that said, let's dive in. First and foremost, I wanted to talk about this tweet by Danny Scott, who is saying that 7 weeks ago, the Bitcoin dip was 31K. 2 weeks ago, it was 44, and now it's 54. See the direction this is going? And this is what we try to encourage everyone to do during these volatile moments during a bull run, which is when in doubt, zoom out. And if you zoom out far enough, you see that the direction of Bitcoin and crypto goes pretty much in one direction without fail over a long enough period of time. Now, that said, we understand the emotion of the bull run. And since January of 2021, it seems like everyone is extremely reactive to the most minor of changes in the market. Honestly, that's the way it always is. But it's important to realize that the people who are rewarded disproportionately in crypto are the ones with diamond hands, the ones who do not get shaken during the down times. Now, even if you go to the most extreme bearish scenarios like we had in 2018, like we had in 2014 and 2015, the people who bought then were rewarded the most. So if you track the trend, especially looking at the dips, not just the peaks, you can see that this is a powerful bullish trend that we are still very much in the throes of. And it's being helped tremendously by the printing of $1.9 trillion by the US government. I think is incredibly important, which is the fact that the EAEU was unlikely to find common ground on crypto regulation, which is the Eurasian Economic Union, which is members of Europe and Asian governments coming together to see if they could find common ground on crypto regulation. Now, what you need to see here is that if all the governments in the entire world, or at least the very important and influential financial powers that be, do not act in synchronous on crypto regulation, it's kind of like, well, it's kind of like this. And that's because if the crypto markets have any banking systems that they can reliably access, then there's really no way to prevent crypto from flowing in and out of fiat as long as there's major nations that are embracing cryptocurrency. And what we're seeing here, what I'm seeing here, is that there's no real agreement on the way to regulate this, which means that if they put in inordinate regulations in Europe, then the crypto companies and the crypto innovators will flock towards Asia or the other way around. What you're going to see here, in my opinion, is that crypto is on its path to just winning here. So this is a huge piece of information, and it shows that the ability for these governments to agree on something as complex as crypto regulation is probably going to be a much more distant target than what a lot of people are thinking. In the end, if everyone doesn't act in the exact same way at the exact same time, it won't stop crypto unless every government everywhere works together. Not that crypto can be stopped in general. I'm just saying that this is a huge piece of news, and it shows that the actual threat of every government coming together to stop this stuff is actually very low. And to me, that is extremely bullish, because to me, that's really one of the only things that I see being a huge hindrance to the future of this industry, is if we see regulation that sort of is draconian, widespread, and acts to prevent innovation. Now, I believe it's not going to happen, and I do believe that with a long enough period of time, without overregulation, crypto will make the world a much better place. And articles like this make me excited that crypto will get the the time to flourish into the human-first ecosystem that we all know it and love it to be. I mean, what other part of the world can retailers and average people be selling their investments back to Goldman Sachs at 100x? That's what's happening here in crypto, where you're able to get ahead and the bankers, well, they're a step behind. It's an amazing world, and it's probably one of the only times in history this will ever happen. Now, moving on to some altcoin news, I wanted to talk about a single project here that I think is embodying of a trend, a very important trend in crypto that if you understand and learn to predict and stay on top of the news around, you will be in a position to take advantage and benefit from some extremely powerful trends. Now, one of the biggest and most powerful trends in crypto over the last 18 months to 24 months has been DeFi. And one of the things that makes DeFi the absolute most interesting thing is yield on your money. And in crypto sphere, it's one thing to earn 20% yield on something that could go down 100x tomorrow, but it's another thing to earn 20% yield on US dollar fixed assets. And that's exactly where DeFi got really interesting, is when you could start earning 9, 10, 20, 50% yield on US dollar equivalents, or things that for the most part over the last 4 to 5 years have held at $1 reliably. And so to break this down even further, a lot of DeFi projects offer fluctuating variable interest rates. So 1 minute it'll be 50%, the next minute it'll be 5%. It doesn't give the lender that much security on what you're going to get back as your yield. So fixed rate yield has been this truly aspirational big addition to the crypto space, because in the bank, putting your money in the bank, you pretty much earn zero. And I know a lot of rich people that if they knew how much they could make by just parking their money in DeFi, they would convert every single dime they had into US dollar stable coins and park them in DeFi apps and take out insurance against them just in case anything went wrong, because the yield there is just way too exciting. And today we got a very important addition to this world in the form of Anchor Protocol by Terra, or the Luna coin. Now, I'm not telling you to go buy Luna. I'm just trying to cover for you Anchor Protocol, which allows for a fixed rate yield. Let's dig into this a little bit. So Anchor is a decentralized money market and savings protocol providing 20% APY to UST. UST is their US dollar stablecoin depositors. So 20% APY as a fixed rate yield is extremely high. You're looking at something like BlockFi, you're getting 8.6%. And that was pretty high when we first heard about it. MPH, I was seeing fixed rate yields around 9 or 10%. So 20% for a fixed rate yield that you can set it and forget it is absolutely unheard of. And if they're able to pull this off, which it sounds like they're in the final stages of doing, this will attract an insane amount of liquidity. I know I'll be parking some money there as well, because hey, I could put in $100 and come back next year and it's 120. If I put in $1 million, I'm making 200 grand a year doing nothing. So this is a huge deal, especially if you think about the biggest money bags in the world, who for the most part park their money in US Treasury bills, which pay a 2% yield. So if you think about this, this is a 10x over a treasury yield. Obviously, there's various additional risks, but you just have to understand how big a fixed rate yield of 20% is and how much this could fundamentally change the fabric of finance if they're able to reliably deliver these kinds of yields. This stuff changes the game because the big old money bags want to set it and forget it on reliable yield strategies. And so fixed rate yield is the part of DeFi that I believe everyone should be paying attention to, as it could fundamentally disrupt the savings and yield system that we have known up to this point. I highly encourage you guys to check out more about Anchor, as I do believe that the Anchor protocol within Terra or Luna, the ecosystem, is going to be a very impactful protocol that at the very least is going to pump the bags of Luna holders. But in my opinion, if they're able to successfully deliver on this 20% fixed rate yield, will capture a whole lot of liquidity. And I'm talking about billions of dollars, because people with a lot of money want to make a lot of money without doing a lot of complexity. They don't want to work for it. They just want to be rewarded. And that's the promise of DeFi. And it should come as no surprise that over the last few days and weeks, Luna has been on an absolute tear. I mean, it was just about under $1 in January. And here it is at about, what is it? It peaked up here at $20. So that's absolutely phenomenal performance. I mean, if we go back to the ancient ancient times of November, this thing was a 30-cent token. So you see the absolutely astronomical trajectory, and it shows from delivering impactful products. So you can't turn your back on DeFi. No matter how exciting the NFT thing is, DeFi is still the presiding and predominating flavor of the bull run. If you want a full breakdown of how they're actually going and achieving this 20% fixed APR, there's a tweet that I retweeted on my Twitter, twitter.com/ElioTrades. I'm going to go ahead and link it in the description of this video, so you can go ahead and click through and check it out yourself. It's the tweet by Dokwon here, and you can read a little bit more into how they're achieving this and see their strategy, and maybe it'll inspire you to see what's possible out there. It's not that easy. It depends on a lot of larger ecosystem things that they've already built, but you can see here that this to me is a big step forward. Well, there you have it. The Bitcoin dip is not nearly as bad as the Bitcoin dips over the last few weeks, and meanwhile, alts are continuing to perform. I believe this is part of a bubble up that leads to a massive next leg. And of course, during this leg, we're seeing some incredible steps forward, things that I believe are bear market resistance, things that I believe achieve a step forward in finance, like Luna's Anchor protocol. The fixed rate yield aspect of DeFi is something that I believe will become, mark my words, the biggest part of DeFi. Because people, although they're interested in complex money Legos, they're even more interested in simplistic and reliable yield, especially the biggest money bags in the world. And for that reason, I believe that the bond market or the fixed rate yield market, all of these things are going to be the biggest disruptions that DeFi can offer. When I interface with big money managers, they're very interested in these higher yield strategies that are fairly straightforward, because once you start talking about a big amount of money or potentially money that they're managing on behalf of other people, any kind of added complexity can be a big stumbling block. So simple and effective fixed rate yield is going to be massive. It already is massive, but keep your eye on this space, because other projects that are developing important fixed rate yield mechanisms, I believe those are things that you can identify to pull another Luna, which is of course astronomical 100x growth. So if you guys are interested in gains that are tied with real financial utility, then I highly encourage you guys to look for fixed rate yield projects. I think it's going to be a huge addition to crypto. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about how these governments are not seeing eye to eye on crypto regulation, and governments not colluding against crypto, in my opinion, is incredibly bullish, because governments all colluding against crypto, I think, could be potentially very bearish. All we hope for is an environment where innovation can thrive, and in that environment, I do believe crypto will continue to push forward, disrupt, and win. So as long as every government doesn't come down and try to have some kind of draconian crackdown and cut off this amazing movement that has given us so much innovation and prosperity, then I believe we will see some pretty amazing growth for crypto, not only this year, but over the coming years and decades. This is a very long-term trend, and most every successful crypto investor has gotten there by thinking not just 5 minutes away, but 5 years away, 10 years away, and that's how you truly win the game of cryptocurrency disruption and betting on the future. With that said, my name is ElioTrades. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, go ahead, destroy that like button, and remember, as always, each and every comment on this video is entered to win your very own hardware wallet. As always, I'm tweeting up a storm. I'm able to tweet a lot more than I am able to make videos these days, because I'm working so hard on my own project, which I will of course be giving you some updates on very soon. So I appreciate the amazing support, all the messages I've gotten on Telegram or Twitter, supporting me, supporting the project. That kind of stuff makes my day, and so I just wanted to say thank you all to everyone who's supporting, and I can't wait to give you the updates in the very near future. With that said, my name is ElioTrades. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode.